Yo, what's up? The guys over at Cymatics sent me their newest sample pack, Titan, and I'll be using it throughout the video. It's also a free download, so I'll leave the download link in the description. The year is 2003. My family decided to have a trip to our favorite rental store, Hollywood Video. After walking around the store and renting some of our favorite movies, my sister and I were intrigued with a video game we saw called Kingdom Hearts. Now, I didn't really get to play the game as a kid, it just didn't click with me, but what really did captivate me was the beautiful title screen music. It was just so uplifting and moving, and this feeling would become the catalyst of Regalia. Regalia? Regalia. I say them interchangeably. Regalia is a subgenre of plug, coined by producers Royal Ansem and Fuck Reset. It's often characterized by its use of orchestral strings, horns, and percussion to create an uplifting, epic, and cinematic sound, a major sonic departure from its synth-inspired plug roots. The style is also heavily inspired by films and video games like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, and they're often used as the visual aesthetic of Regalia beats as well. Even though Regalia relies on the use of orchestral sounds, there's less of an emphasis on sampling in it, and many producers have been making these string and horn sections from scratch, which I think is amazing. This genre is letting producers think outside of the box, and I highly recommend every producer to try to make Regalia. It could definitely give you experience in composing other styles of music. And of course, if you want to check out some staple Regalia songs, you gotta check out the creators Royal Ansem, Fuck Reset, and Jace. Some Regalia songs I really enjoy are Big As Me by Jace and Heaven Sent Part 2 by AME. Regalia beats tend to go all in with the orchestral intros, full string sections, heavenly pianos, and cinematic drums. It also uses a lot of staccato strings to build melodies, often playing in triplets. And when it all comes together, it should feel epic and uplifting. I'm using this keys one shot from Cymatics' Titan sample pack to start off the song and establish the motif. I'm using a few effects on it, like an EQ, limiter, delay, stereo shaper, and reverb. Next, I'm going to make a ton of strings using a full orchestra sound, most of the sounds coming from Flex. I started off with a sustained full string section and played the chords. I also added this bass string to fill out the sound some more. Next, I put this viola section to add some movement. And this violin staccato pattern for some faster melodies. Most of the strings are using pretty simple effects as well, just some simple EQing to make it fit in the mix better. However, the fast staccato violin section did have a cool reverb effect with Fruity Convolver. I reversed the impact of it and added some blur, and it plays the reverb backwards. Next, I added the staccato string from Expand for later parts of the track, and I'm using a delay and an EQ. I think it's the same preset from Sticks and Stones, you know, very nostalgic for me. And lastly, I made this hover bass in GMS to fill out the low end. All I added was a low pass EQ. And when you take all of these sounds and put them together, it just sounds incredible. It's got me feeling like Hans Zimmer. The drums in Regalia tend to take a more traditional trap route compared to its symphonic melodies. It uses a lot of standard trap hi-hats, 808s, and snare claps, with the addition of some orchestral drums like taiko drums and bell tones. It's a nice blend of old and new. And like I said earlier, many of the drums are coming from Cymatics's Titan sample pack. It's got a ton of incredible high-quality loops, midis, stems, one-shots, and drums that were made for tons of different genres. There are sounds that are perfect for EDM, trap, and R&B producers in this pack, and all of the sounds are 100% royalty-free. This pack is also free to download, so I'll leave a link to it in the description. For my track, I layered these 2 hi-hats, added this clap, and this open hi-hat to play the main pattern. I'm also using a lot of triplet rhythms, so I had to put the piano roll grid to 1/3 beat instead of 1/4. It makes placing triplet notes a lot easier. Next, I'm using some impact sounds as taiko drums for the intro. One of them I'm just placing in the timeline, and the other one I'm making a quick pattern for. For the drop of the song, I'm also going to add this tubular bell melody. And lastly, I used this distorted spins 808 and followed the root notes of the chord progression. It was loud and booming and brought some great energy to the song. I wanted to do something different for the later half of the song, and I'm still kind of in my new jazz appreciation era, so I decided to make a bit of a new jazz B section, which means I need to make some new drum patterns and melodies. I also made a new bass pattern as well. Because most of the melodies I made are in triplets, I added a new one in 4/4 times. I'm using the synth in GMS, and I played this cool melody. I also added an EQ, delay, stereo shaper, and reverb. I also added this nice top line for the string section. Lastly, I added this cool drum loop. And I used this effects riser for transitions. After some arrangement, here's the final beat.